Blocks will be useful. If you'd like a cushion I think is always nice. Once you're seated, you might boost your hips up with a pillow. Sometimes that can make sitting on the ground feel a lot better. But come into what for you feels like a wide-legged seat. I was going to say stance, but we're really not standing here. And once you've found what feels like a sustainable wide-legged position, place your fingertips behind you and just assist yourself a little with your arms to really extend long through your spine. So rather than rounding or arching, just a long kind of like neutral spine. Think about having a string pulling up the crown of your head, giving you a little support. Flex your feet and see if your legs would like to become pretty straight here. And then you might think about internally rotating your femurs just a little bit. They may not move, much at all, they may not move at all, but just the action of attempting to roll your femurs towards the inside, towards the midline. And then notice, does your body feel like it would like to fold forward more? If so, you can go ahead and give that a try and see how that feels. If not, that's totally fine. Staying in that more upright position might be a really great option. So as you're in Upavishta Konasana, really notice where your energy is going. And you might direct some of your energy towards paying attention to your breathing, if that feels like something that's supportive to you. And notice, where are you feeling a stretch, if anywhere at all. If you're folded forward more, come back up to a more upright position. Bring your fingertips behind you, bend your knees, and place your heels on the ground or your soles of your feet on the ground. So you're in this kind of like hanging out position. And then drop your knees to one side to the extent that they would like to do that. And then over to the other side. And do that again a couple of times at your own pace, doing these windshield wipers, just noticing, what does it feel like to move your femurs around like this in the hips? What do your knees feel like? What about your ankles? And you might notice that you have a tendency to kind of like your butt walks you forward when you do this, and you can just reset, scooching yourself back as needed. Even yourself out, come back to center, and make your way up to standing from here in whatever way works for you. And once you're standing, if you feel dizzy at all, squeeze your palms together, find your center, take a couple of really deep breaths, maybe sigh them out. And then take your time coming to the front of your mat, bringing your blocks along with you and placing them at the front of your mat. Once you're there, find the mountain pose and really ground down through your feet. Lift up through the crown of your head. Notice if your energy could settle a little bit more. Take some long, slow, deep breaths in mountain pose. And when you're ready, sweep your arms up, reach all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And reach a little bit more through your left fingertips, coming into a little bit of a side stretch. A little more through your right fingertips. Side stretch on the other side. Come back to center. From here, fold forward halfway. Bring your hands down to your blocks. See if you can flatten through your back. You might bend and straighten your knees just a couple of times. And then from here, bend your knees and pause in this version of chair pose. And you can stay there in that version of chair pose. You might consider lifting your left foot up, squeezing it in towards your butt for kind of a flamingo posture here. So you're either in your half forward fold or in a chair pose or a flamingo. And then either step that foot back right into a lunge or shoot it out behind you, straightening through both legs and come into a warrior three position. Before then, stepping that leg back, coming into a lunge with your left foot back, right knee bent. And you can scoot your blocks around as needed to help support you here. Maybe press a little more through your back toes and then lean back through that heel a couple of times just to see what's going on in your calf and in your foot and that left side. And you can stay here exploring this, or you might consider keeping your left hand down, maybe lifting your right arm and coming into a twist, reaching up with that right arm, grounding down with your left. Or again, maybe really checking out what is going on in the back of your leg here, in your calf. If you're in this twist, bring your hand back down to your blocks. And everyone, take your time stepping forward, either to a half forward fold or back into a chair pose. And you can have your hands at blocks. If you're in chair, you might consider bringing your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And then wherever you are, lift yourself up, sweep your arms up, reach up, press your palms together, bring them down to heart center. Really press your palms together, press your feet into the ground. Notice what's happening with your energy. And notice if you're happy with what's happening with your energy, where you're spending it. We're going to go through that again, but on the other side. So release your palms, find mountain pose, maybe turning your palms forward. Next time you take a big inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Stretch up and ground down at the same time. And then stretch a little more through your right fingertips. Noticing if you can feel that through your side and then through your left fingertips. So switching sides, then coming back to center, fold forward, find your half forward fold. And really notice, how is that half forward fold working for you? Do you want to take a slightly wider stance, a slightly narrower stance? Maybe try bending through your knees and straightening them a few times. And then, if you would like to try settling into this bent knee chair position, you might try that. And another option would be to take your right foot and tuck it up towards your butt, maybe pointing those toes for this flamingo position. And now either step right back into a lunge or shoot your right leg back out straight behind you, straightening through your left leg, coming into a warrior three for a moment before then stepping your right toes down into your lunge. And again, you might scoot your blocks around, just finding a position that really suits you now, maybe pressing through your back toes and then leaning back through that heel a few times. And another option here would be, you might keep your right hand down either on your block or on the floor and then lift your left arm up, opening into a twist. Can you breathe pretty fully here in this position? And if your arm is up, you can bring it back down and then make your way forward, either into your half forward fold or chair. So stepping your back leg forward, maybe finding a flat back, maybe bending to your legs. Hands can be either at your blocks or the floor or pressed together in Anjali Mudra. And when you're ready, stand all the way up, lift everything up, maybe lifting your arms as you come up. Grounding down through your feet, lifting up through your spine, and then press your palms together and bring them down, holding them at heart center for a moment. Release your hands, maybe turn your palms forward, finding mountain, really noticing, how is your energy feeling? Doing a little accounting. How did you spend it in that flow? And we're going to go through it again on each side and see, like, where would you like to spend it this time? And when you're ready, sweep your arms up. Reach up a little more through one set of fingertips and then through the other. Come back to center. Fold forward halfway, bringing your hands either to blocks or to the ground. And another option would be, you might bring your hands into Anjali Mudra if you would like to add on what might be another challenge. You might bend and straighten through your knees a couple of times. And then maybe settle into bent knees with the option of lifting your left foot up towards your butt, squeezing that heel in, and then either stepping right back into your lunge or sending your left leg back into a warrior three for a moment before stepping back into your lunge. So you'll be in a lunge at this point, probably, possibly. You might have your hands at your blocks. You might have your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And if you would like to try a twist, either keep your left hand at your block, lift your right hand up, or another option would be hands in Anjali Mudra, maybe bringing your left elbow over your right knee and twisting that way. So, a few options here. When you're ready, come out of that twist and make your way forward. Again, either coming into a half forward fold or chair. Hands either at blocks or they might be lifted. And then stand up, reach up. Bring your palms together, lower them in front of your heart. You might squeeze your palms together. And then release your hands. Find mountain. Let your energy settle. Notice where you're feeling it. Maybe take a really deep inhale. And at the top, just breathe in a little bit more. And then let everything out through your mouth. You might do that a couple of times. And when you're ready, we're going to go through that one more time on the second side. So when you're ready, sweep your arms up, reach a little more through one set of fingertips, and then through the other set. Come back to center, come into your half forward fold. Remembering you can use your blocks for support here. You could bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. So whatever feels like a better use of your energy. Maybe bend your knees a couple of times. Consider settling into that bent knee position if you're trying this, with the possibility of tucking your right foot up towards your butt, balancing in a flamingo for a moment, and then either stepping back right into your lunge or sending your right leg back into a warrior three for a moment before then settling into a lunge, lowering your foot. And once you're in a lunge, you might be exploring what's going on in your foot, back of your calf. And you might consider trying a twist, either by keeping your right hand down on a block, lifting your left arm up, or bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra and bringing that right elbow over your left knee. If you're in a twist, take one more deep breath and then come out of it. And then make your way forward, either using your blocks or hovering your hands, coming into either chair pose or your half forward fold. Make your way to standing, taking your time, maybe sweeping your arms up. And when you're ready, pressing your palms together and bringing them down in front of your heart. Take a few really, really deep breaths. You might inhale through your nose and then just let everything out your mouth in a big sigh.